All right, peace and blessings to you, children of the promise. Forefront Radio here. Just wanted to touch on a few things with everyone real quick. I'm listening to jazz music, so if you hear that in the background, let's pause that for a second. Let me pause that. All right. All right, so the reason for the second post. All right, so now, the reason for the second post. I made a post on my Facebook in regards to the pork that's going on in the foods. All right. I had talked to a friend of mine the other day, and my friend conveyed to me while I was eating the ice cream. The ice cream was in my mouth. My friend was like, "Hey, do you know that your ice cream has pork in it?" I was like, "What? What do you mean the ice cream got pork in it?" The ice cream has pork in it. I'm like, why would they put pork in ice cream? So now I Googled it because, we're in a society where knowledge is everything, right? I Googled the shit. And guess what? She was right. She was right. I was so mad. I was like, how is this the case? So I said, you know what? I'm going to have to do a Facebook Live on it because some of you are believers. These are mostly for the new believers that realize that, yeah, we are the original people of the Bible, the original people of the book. Like I normally say in my other posts, I'm going to say it on this post. I don't claim to be a pastor or anything like that. I just like to read. So I'm going to share the information. You can make a decision whether or not you want to take heed to that or not. All right. So we're going to Google something. All right. So I said, does monoglycerides contain pork? The very first thing that popped up when I asked the question is this. Mono and diglycerides and their derivatives account for 70% of the world's production of food emulsifiers and are therefore considered as most important emulsifiers. Kroger 1997. All glyceride products do contain pork. All glyceride products do contain pork. So now I'm over here like glycerin, what is this? I knew about gelatin. Okay, that's why I avoided Jellos. I avoided candies that had gelatin in it. I avoided any products that had gelatin. I knew about that. Okay. I knew about lard. Lard is that pork-derived fat that some people use to cook foods for. I knew about that. But I did not know about mono and diglycerides containing pork. Now, why do I share this? As believers in the Bible, we have to have a care for what we eat, what we wear, how we conduct ourselves in our culture, as far as enhancing our mind, body, and spirit. Okay? When you have an expensive car, you want to make sure that you put the high octane gas in it. You want to make sure that you put that full synthetic oil to make sure it's running properly. We care so much about an inanimate object, but we don't have a care for our bodies. The gift that the creator of all things has given us, right? So check this out. I'm going to read this scriptural verse. This is found in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 8. It says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. So the Most High was really clear. He said, don't touch their carcass. Don't touch anything that has to do with their body parts. Okay? Animal byproducts derived by pork is bad for you. It's bad for you. Scavenger meat is bad for you. Shrimp, crab, lobster, pork, anything that's written of against in the scriptures. Okay? But society is so full of deception that they put it in any and everything. My ice cream has monodiglycerides in it. My soap has glycerin in it. My shampoos have glycerin in it. Now we're going to break it down. I'm going to go to different websites showing and proving that the different types of various products that have pork in it. All right, so this is from fourpaws.org. Oh, before I go into that, I want to state this. The more I walk in my faith as a believer, the more I realize that I'm being pushed more closer to adopting a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle. I'm being pushed towards that because I notice as I get older, the more healthier foods, the fruits, the vegetables, things of that nature that I eat, I end up feeling stronger, feeling more resiliency to getting sick. And I'm seeing more the importance of eating more fruits and vegetables. Okay? This is from fortpause.org. It says this. It says pork, the unexpected ingredients, the unexpected food, okay, the unexpected foods that contain pork. All right, I'm going to start reading. It says this: unsuspected food that contains animal ingredients. Many people are not aware that various unexpected food and drinks contain animal-derived ingredients, such as body parts from pigs. I'm going to pause right there. Let me read what the scripture says again. It says this: and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. That's clear, right? I'm going to read it again. And the swine is another word for pig, because it divides the hoof, yet chews not the cud, it is unclean to you. Unclean to you. Unclean means it's not good for you. It's not good. It will defile you. It's considered an abomination. It says, you shall not eat their flesh. That means what? Pork rinds, pork chops, bacon, what else? And other similar derived products, right? We're not supposed to eat these things. Pork rinds, what else? Pig feet, pig tongue, chitlins. Those are the intestinal slave food. I call it slave food. The intestinal guts of pigs. People eat it and think it's a delicacy when it's nasty. Have you ever smelled chitlins? Well, anyways, continuing on with this article, it says, many people are not aware that various unexpected foods and drinks contain animal-derived ingredients such as body parts from pigs. Small amounts can be found in a variety of foods which are skillfully hidden by creative names and vague labeling. So what do? This is telling us here that instead of just completely saying this has pork in it, this is derived from animal byproducts, they craftily decide to make a skillfully hidden and creative name to deceive. That tells me, because I'm a critical thinker, I like to use my brain, that tells me that they're doing it intentionally. They're doing it intentionally. They're intentionally giving you a product that has pork in it and then say, oh no, it doesn't have pork, it's just monodiglyceride. Oh, it doesn't have pork. Oh, it's just glycerin. Oh, this doesn't have pork. Oh, it's just gelatin. Oh, it doesn't have pork. No, these are cleverly created names meant to deceive. Vague labeling meant to deceive. They're doing it on purpose. Fortpause created a short list to make you aware of some of the more common ones listed as ingredients, which explain where pigs are often included. By checking the ingredients list carefully, familiarizing the terms, and looking out for the words like lard, animal fat, animal glyceride, hydrolyzed animal protein, glycerin, gelatin on the label, you can reduce your intake of animal-based products. So now here's a breakdown of some of the things that they say. Wine. Gelatin, a product derived from pig body parts, is used in many wine purification processes. So a brother can't even drink some wine on a new moon or a feast day because they're putting gelatin in it. That's why it's best for you to find kosher wine or halal wine, wines that don't have animal byproducts in it, right? Then it says baking goods. Cysteine is used in many baking goods, such as bread, to create a more extensible dough with improved pan flow. Cysteine is most often synthesized from hair, such as pig bristles. So the pig bristles, the hair of a pig, is utilized in baking goods, your breads, your doughs, your different things that you utilize. That's why the only company that makes pizza that I deal with is Domino's, because they don't use L-cysteine. They don't use cysteine products in their dough. So it's interesting. So they're putting it in the bread. They're putting pork in the bread. They're putting pork in the wine. Wine, that comes from grapes. They're putting pork products to purify the wine. How do you purify with something that's unclean? Tell me that. How do you purify wine with gelatin, which is derived from pig products? You're using something unclean to purify. I'm going to read the Bible verse again. Deuteronomy 14, verse 8. And the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet chews not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. Meaning, don't touch their dead body. Don't touch their dead body. Don't touch anything that has to do with them. Don't touch their hair. Don't touch their nails. Don't touch their skin. Don't touch their bones. Don't touch their meat. Don't touch the bone marrow that's within the meat and within the bones. Don't touch their intestines. Don't touch their eyes. Don't touch anything that has to do with pork products. Period. This is not a suggestion. This is a law. If you claim to be a Bible believer, if you claim to be a Christian, if you claim to be a Jew, if you claim to be a Muslim, or any religious denomination that you are, clearly the book says don't do it. Don't do it. I know it's hard. I know it's challenging. Some of y'all think it tastes good. No, it don't. It's unclean. How can unclean be good? That means it's bad. Unclean is bad. All right? It says, and the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh. No more bacon. No more bacon. No more ham. No more ham. You believe in God? Do you believe in God? I don't even want to get into the judgments for eating pork, but I, as a believer, I want to do what this book says. I don't want to end up caught up in destruction because I decided not to listen to the creator of all things. I want to do the right thing. I want to help others do the right thing. Here's another example. It says cereal. Many cereals are sugar-coated, which can also contain gelatin. The cereals. Are you kidding? Yogurt. Gelatin is used in many products, especially in the low-calorie variety. Here's another one. Fruit gum. Again, gelatin is used in the production of fruit gums. Chewing gum. Stearic acid is used in many chewing gums. It is obtained from animal fats, mostly from a pig's stomach. So every time you're chewing that mint gum, you're chewing pig intestines, pig guts. Every time you're chewing gum, you're chewing pig stomach. You understand? Here's another example. Instant soup. Shalom, Shayo. Good to see you, sis. Instant soup. So some seasonings contain soup that have traces of bacon in it. Okay? Here's another example. Cream cheese. In some products, gelatin is used as a thickener. Chips. Bacon flavor is used in some branded products to enhance flavor. Juice. For purification of some juices, especially multivitamin juice, gelatin is used. So now consider that for a moment. How can something that's unclean be used to purify? Does that make sense? Does that make any logical sense? It doesn't. So I'm going to read a little bit again from the top of this article. It says, many people are not aware that the various unexpected food and drinks contain animal-derived ingredients, such as body parts from pigs. Small amounts can be found in a variety of foods which are skillfully hidden by creative names and vague labeling. So they're intentionally not labeling the products and saying this contains pork. They carefully start hiding the names and calling it stuff like glyceride, calling it stuff like hydrolyzed animal protein, calling it stuff like glycerin or gelatin or lard or animal fat. These things are not labeled correctly intentionally. I'm going to read this verse again. Deuteronomy 14 verse 8. And the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch of their dead carcass. That's not a suggestion. So their hair, the L-cysteine that they put in the doughs of many pizzas in every pizza shop, your Pizza Hut, your Papa John's, ask them if they have L-cysteine in it. That's derived from pork hair. That's derived from pork hair. So now, that's just on that. I asked the question, does monodiglycerides, this is on Google, and monodiglycerides and their derivatives, do they contain pork? And it says it's used in 70% of the world production of food emulsifiers. All glyceride products do contain pork. All of them. So that goes into what? Your soaps. Look at the soaps. If they have glycerides in them, more than likely, that's derived from pork. Look at your shampoos. Look at the conditioners. Look at your coffee creamers and cappuccino creams, right, that they put, right? More than likely it has pork. Your lotions, they have pork in it. The gel that you use to put in your hair, they have pork in it. And it's amazing to me that although I've been in the truth for some years of knowing that I'm a Hebrew according to the Bible, I knew about gelatin, but I didn't know about the deeper things that they're putting. Okay, here's another article. This is an article called plantbasednews.org. It says 14 non-vegan ingredients to look out for in makeup and beauty products. So this is for the sisters and some of the brothers that use products to help them, like their beard products, conditioner, this, that, and the third. All right, so check this out. It says animal testing is not the only thing to look out for when buying vegan-friendly cosmetics and skincare products. You may think brands have to be clear about whether their products include parts of animals or their secretions, but sadly, you'd be wrong. It is a bit of a battle minefield, and without some prior knowledge, it can be difficult to know what is and what isn't vegan friendly. Just to add to the confusion, some ingredients which can be derived from plants or animals have the same name without the source being identified. For example, squalene. So the only option here is to look up the manufacturer and see if it has gone into more detail on its website. Below is a list of some of the most common animal ingredients and their vegan counterparts. So, for example, number 1, lanolin. This emollient is derived from sheep wool and is a common ingredient in lip balms, lipsticks, lip glosses, as well as hair products. It is used to soften and moisturize. Synthetic and plant-based lanolin exists, but be wary of so-called cruelty-free lanolin, which may still be derived from wool. Alternatives include plant-based oils such as coconut, olive oil, butters, shea, and coconut. So remember, keep in mind, folks, we're trying to look for alternatives to what we readily use every day, okay? The reason that I'm doing this live is because I want people to understand that although there are a lot of unclean things that are done to our food, we have to have the mindset to want to change for the better. That way we can find what's healthy for us. This is why I personally am starting to try to live a more vegan, vegetarian type of lifestyle. And what I notice is you lose weight, you're more energetic. There are tons of benefits to living and eating healthy. It even says so in the Bible. For example, in Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 30, verse 25, it says this: a cheerful and good heart will have good care of his meat and diet. So a cheerful person, a person that has a good mind, a good heart, will have a care and pay attention to what they eat, what they wear, how they conduct themselves. Have a care for what you put in your body. You only have one in this lifetime to live. So you want to live as strong and as healthy as possible. Okay? Don't give your mind over to the things that lead to depression, because these other foods that are out there, they inhibit the development of joy in the body. They restrict your mental capacity. That's what these unclean foods do. You feel lethargic. You feel tired all the time. You feel unhappy. You feel tired. You feel stressed. And then you try to eat comfort food, the ice creams, the yogurts, the different things that you placed in your body to think that it will comfort you, when in reality it's causing more harm than good because it's unclean. So think about it like this. You're a car engine, and instead of using the proper oil, you keep putting water in the engine, or you keep putting peanut butter in the engine, or you keep putting tomato sauce in the engine, something that it doesn't run off of. That engine eventually will go bad. The same thing with your body. Why is it that we have high rates of diabetes, high rates of cancers, high rates of heart disease, high rates of all these different debilitating and chronic conditions? It's because we're not putting the proper care to our diets. Now, like I said, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a preacher. I just like to read. And I'm reading it and just giving you the information, and you can choose to do what you want. You can choose to do what you want. But at the end of the day, we must have a care for ourselves. If you care about yourself and love yourself, love your own soul, you're going to care about what you eat. You're going to care about what you put in your body. You're going to care about that stuff. All right? Verse 23 says that. Sirach chapter 30, verse 23. Love thine own soul, and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bring age before the time. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. So care about your food. Care about what you eat. All right, so continuing on in the article, it states this. Number 2, shellac or shellac, a resinous product obtained from lac bugs. Shellac is used in nail products, as well as some hair lacquers or lacquers. Hundreds of thousands of these insects are killed to create small amounts of this product. So now, going into the creepy crawlies, a lot of people don't like bugs. A lot of people don't like bugs at all. All right? So I want to go to the scripture that talks about not dealing with bugs. We're going to go to Leviticus. Leviticus 11. And bear with me, I'm trying to find it. Leviticus 11. And let's get into looking at the creepy crawlies. Let's see here. Leviticus, here it is, 21. Leviticus 11, verse 21. It says this. Actually, we'll jump down to verse 24. It says, and verse 23, but all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. I'm going to read it again. It says, all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you, and for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. Whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the evening. So the bugs, the creeping things, they're so unclean that if it touches your clothes, you got to wash your clothes. If the dead product. So now think about that. Not only are they putting it in certain foods, they're putting it in your nails that some of your sisters are putting on. The colored nails, you have to figure out getting vegan-based products, because that will be a less likelihood of you having these long dragging nails that are unclean. Shellac, a resinous product obtained from lac bugs. Shellac is used in nail products as well as some hair lacquers. Hundreds of thousands of these insects are killed to create small amounts of this product. Number 3, glycerin or glycerin. This generally comes from animal fats, pigs, and is commonly used in a range of products including soaps, hair care, makeup, moisturizers. Some products use vegetable-based glycerin, which are suitable for vegans, but a majority of them are animal products. Remember, we read in the definition that over 70% of the products that are derived are from mono and diglycerides. Monodiglycerides, glycerins, gelatins, these are all code names for pork-derived products. Number 4, casein, aka sodium caseinate or caseinate. It is generally derived from cow's milk and can be used in conditioning hair products and face creams. A vegan alternative can be derived from plant-based milks and will usually be labeled as vegetable protein. Number 6, squalene. This chemical, extracted from shark liver, is commonly used in lip balm, deodorants, and moisturizers, among other products. It is considered a powerful ingredient with anti-aging properties. Vegan squalene exists and is derived from olive and wheat germs. So, thinking about that for a moment, we have to realize that squalene comes from sharks. Sharks are an unclean food to us. Here's the proof. When you go to Leviticus chapter 11, verse 46, it says this: This is the law of beasts and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth on the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. That's verse 46 and 47. Now, jumping back to verse 12, it states this: Whatsoever has no fins nor scales in the waters, that should be an abomination unto you. Okay? Let's jump up to verse 10. It says this: And all that have not fins and scales in the seas. Actually, let me jump back because there's more to this. Let's go to verse 9. Verse 9 says, These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. So every animal that is in the waters. It says, Whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Okay? So whatever has fins and scales, that's what we can eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. So think about that for a moment. This means your shrimp, your crab, your lobster, your seaweeds that have little seahorses in it, right? Your clams, your mussels, your squid, your octopi, all these different animals that are in the waters, your sharks, your dolphins, your whales. These things, their meat you can't eat. It's unclean. It's unclean. So we read about squalene. A squalene is derived from shark liver oil. This is used in lip balm, deodorants, moisturizers, among other products. So according to the scriptures, we shouldn't use these products. This is very important to understand. Number 6, guanine. Created by scraping the scales off dead fish, guanine or guanine is sometimes used to make sparkly nail polish, eyeshadow, highlighters, bronzers, and blushes. Number 7, oleic acid, or aka oleostearate, oleoleate, or tallow. This animal fat is used as a softening and conditioning emollient in nail polish, soap, moisturizers, and makeup. Oleic acid can be plant-derived from a number of sources, including coconut, olives, and nuts. These forms may be labeled as vegan. Okay, so you got to be careful. Number 8, animal hair. This can be in brushes, even ones labeled cruelty-free, and is often sourced from fox, sable, horse, goat, mink, and squirrel. Animal hair, particularly mink, is also sometimes used in false eyelashes. Synthetic options are available. Number 9, stearic acid. Generally derived from pig stomachs, usually cows and sheep, this ingredient is commonly found in deodorants, soaps, hair products, and moisturizers. A vegan alternative, also called stearic acid, can be derived from plant fats, as well as cruelty-free products. So I share this information in the hopes that you can understand clearly that we shouldn't have these products in our system. I'm going to continue with another live. I got to go for a sec, but I'll be right back to talk about this in further details.